What really happens when you change your Amazon ads bids? Raising it by 5, 10, or even 15 cents? Does it bring in more sales or just burn through your budget? And how do you know if your bids are helping you scale or silently killing your profitability? Hi, my name is Peter and I've been self-publishing on Amazon KDP for nearly 10 years. In this video, Amazon ads expert Gerald will walk you through what you need to know about bidding, from setting your first bid to knowing when to raise or lower it, and ultimately how to keep your campaigns profitable without the stress and guesswork. By the end, you will have a clear, practical system for running smoother ads and scaling your business with confidence.
Guys, welcome to this video. This is the beginner's guide to bidding strategy, understanding the foundations of your most important lever in your Amazon ads strategy. This is perhaps one of the most important videos you will watch if you are just starting out with Amazon ads or if you're a beginner. Your most important lever, the most important action at the beginning is probably your bid, right? Because with your bid, you're going to be able to control your spend, your visibility, your profitability. Understanding how to bid properly and confidently doing it from day one will completely change your results or will accelerate your results if you're just starting out. We're not going to go into advanced stuff here, so if you're a bit more advanced, I don't think this video will be for you. But who knows, maybe there's some nuggets here and there that you might like and that might have not been shared in other places. So let's get started. Your first decision. When you're first going to run ads, you must decide whether you want to run ads aggressively or you want to run ads very softly with a soft push. How aggressive do you want your ads to be? Now, I know even some advanced people that don't even know this, but if you want to activate your ad, I am going to assume that you're already in a good niche, right? So I'm going to assume that you found a good keyword in a good niche. You've already done keyword validation to understand that there is profitability in the niche you are aiming for. If this is not the case, you might need to go back to the drawing board, but I'm assuming this. And if you already have a good niche, then you have to decide if you're going to go aggressive or softly. How to go aggressive? Well, you decide to go aggressive whenever your book already has A+ content, has a great cover, you've worked on a really nice description, you have over 100 reviews, then that means you have permission to go aggressively. Obviously, you can start off very softly and then go aggressive, but you're going to waste time. And I would recommend that you push aggressively if you are more, you have a more optimized listing. On the other side, if you have a very bad listing, maybe you're in a good keyword, right? But you know, your cover isn't the best. Your description needs a lot of work. You have only 5, 10, 20 reviews, nothing more than that. Your A+ content is still in development. Well, you can still run ads to your book, but I would recommend doing it with a soft push. So why not activate aggressive bids or aggressive push for the book that is not yet fully optimized? Because more than likely you're going to lose money and you're going to start off with a loss at the beginning. And that's very discouraging. I would recommend you start off with a soft push and progressively raise your bids and go into aggressive if your book allows. Whereas a book that's very well optimized can actually start off as a soft push and can be progressively optimized a lot because it's already very well made to begin with, right? So just to have that, in mind. So what's your starting bid? So you're going to activate a campaign. What should your starting bid be? If you are going to go for a soft push, go for like 21 cents as a starting bid. If you're going to go a bit farther, go for 61 cents. To keep things simple, if you're just starting out, you might want to use down only as your bidding strategy. Let me show you what this means. Here I am in an Amazon Ads dashboard. I'm going to click on Promote, Sponsor Products, click here, Create Campaign. And on this side, we're going to go to a standard ad and we're going to put in a group name. Now, what I like to do is always use the following naming convention, right? Let me show you what this means. This, what you see on screen, is a naming convention. Basically, it's a way that you should name all of your books. I like to put in the name of my book, what type of campaign I am creating, put in the ASIN, and then put in the royalty amount and the break-even ACoS. And don't worry if you don't know this yet, especially the break-even ACoS might be something you're not familiar with, but that's okay. I'll get to that in a bit. So I'm going to use this as my naming convention here. And yeah, that's good. And then I'm going to enter the book that I want to promote. And you can do this by copying and pasting your ASIN. This is also the reason why I put the ASIN here. By the way, if you don't know what your ASIN is, simply go on your book and it's this little code here on the top. Or you can go down to product details and it should either be your ISBN 10 or your actual ASIN. In this case, it's the actual ASIN, right? It's the same number. All right, I've selected my book, and as you can see, even though the book is blurred out, you can see that this book has 51 reviews, right? So 51 reviews would mean that I can go for a bit more of an aggressive push because, as I mentioned, 50 reviews or more usually gives me the ability to do that. So for this one, I'm going to activate a bit more aggressive campaigns. I'm going to do manual, keyword, broad targeting, and I'm going to go for custom. And here I can go for a bid of 61 cents. I'm going to put in the keywords that I want to target. I'm going to add these keywords here at 61 cents. Now, I normally do, maybe if I'm doing a broad campaign like this, maybe 3 to 10 keywords, and broad is good to start out if you're doing this. We scroll down to campaign bidding strategy. You always want to bid down only, especially if you're starting out. If you go up and down or fixed bids, your expenses will go up dramatically. And if you're not used to it, it might be a bit overwhelming. We're going to skip bid adjustments. It's not necessary at this point. And then finally go into settings. Here, I'm going to put in a daily budget, whichever is best for you. $12 is good. You can choose a portfolio if you'd like. And here we can put in the campaign name. The same one that you used for the ad name is usually the one that I place here. So I'm just going to copy and paste my ad name and then click on launch campaign. And that's it. And just to give you an idea, imagine you were doing this with another book. In the case you were doing this with another book, that does not have 50 reviews or more, just simply select it. Either way, in this case, you can see this book has 22 reviews, even though it's blurred out. We know it has 22 reviews. So therefore, we can update the ASIN here, and we can update the name of the book, update the royalty amount. Always make sure to do this and update your break-even ACoS if you know what that is. If you don't worry. And well, in this case, I would go for lower bids. In the bidding section, I can just update this to 21 cents. And I will do the same for all books. Just leave it at 21 cents and start off from there. Now, let's talk about the bid escalation process timeline, right? Initially, your goal when you first start ads is just to get daily clicks. That's all you want. Forget about sales or anything like that. Let's go by steps. So when you launch a campaign, say we launch the 61 cent campaign, you wait 2 to 3 days. You don't want to go for it the next day because that's too soon. You got to give time for the campaign to understand what it's supposed to do. And that usually takes about 2 to 3 days. Once 2 to 3 days have passed and you go to your campaign and you see no impressions, that means that your bidding is way too low and you would need to raise your bid by about 10 to 15 cents. And you continue doing this day by day until you start getting impressions. Sometimes you will need to do this for a few days because you simply are not getting any impressions at all. Now, there is the possibility that by day 3, you've gotten maybe 20, 30 impressions, very low amount. Well, that means that you can just raise it by 10 cents or 15 cents, but then wait to see if your impressions the next day go up and if they keep going up through time, right? Because sometimes we raise the bids too fast. So if I see impressions on day 3, but they're very low, like I'm telling you, less than 100 or 100 or so, then I would raise the bid and just wait 2 to 3 more days and to see if the impressions are picking up, right? So what if you're getting now 300 impressions a day, 400, 500 impressions a day, but no clicks? Well, that's good because you're affecting the impression amount, but we need to just raise bids just a bit more. So I would raise it maybe 10 or 15% more. Now you start getting maybe 1,000 impressions or more a day, which is ideal. No more than 1,000 a day is ideal, but you're getting thousands of impressions now, but you get no clicks at all. Then something is wrong with your cover, title, or both, because that means that your ad is visible, but no one wants to click on it. So something is wrong. Either your title is messed up, your cover is messed up, or there is no connection between your cover and your title. And it simply, people won't even bother to click at your book. So you may need to go back to the drawing board if you're getting a lot of impressions and no clicks. I maybe know 1 or 2 cases that this happened. Honestly, it does not tend to happen because we all have a basic notion of how a title and a cover should match, but it is a possibility. So I'm just throwing it out there. But then once you start getting clicks, that's good. When you start getting 1 click, you might want to raise a little bit more, but when you start getting maybe 5 clicks a day, 10 clicks a day, that's really good because that's giving us more feedback, right? And we've completed the first objective, which is just to start getting clicks. Now, Once you start getting clicks, you will see that some of these targets will start making sales and others will not. And some of the targets that start making sales take more clicks to get the same amount of sales than others. And what is going to be controlling that is your ACoS. Your ACoS means average cost of sale. And you get this number by dividing basically your spend to sell one unit divided by the total sales price of that unit. So for instance, if I spend $4 to get one sale of a $9.99 book, that means the book is priced at $9.99. That means that my ACoS is going to be, well, $4, well, 40% in this case, right? Which is 4 divided by 10. So if it costs you $4 to get one sale and that book that you just sold is priced at basically $10, then that means that your ACoS is 40%, right? So basically what we want to do is we want to regulate always your campaign so that your ACoS is lower than or the same as your break-even ACoS. So what is the break-even ACoS, right? The break-even ACoS is the point at which your ads are self-liquidating. To make things very simple, what I like to do is the following equation. You take your royalty for your book and you divide it by the sales price times 100. And that's also the reason why I include this always in my campaign name, because I know instantly if I'm making money or if I'm losing money with that particular book. Let me give you an example. So going back to this example that I mentioned, or this naming convention for this fictional book that I just made up, right? My break-even ACoS is 36%, right? And the royalty is 3.6. This is because for this example, the price of this book is $10, and every time I sell one copy, I get $3.60 as a royalty, and therefore my break-even is 36. So imagine we activate this ad, and I find that this ad has an ACoS that is 40%. That means that my ACoS is larger than my break-even, and I am actually at a loss. Let's see how this actually applies in real-life scenarios with a campaign. All right, so here we have the campaign. This one is an automatic campaign down only. You can't see the ASIN and you can't see the name of the campaign, but we can see that the royalty is $3.99 and the break-even is 28.52. So that means that for this campaign to be profitable, the ACoS of the campaign should be 28.52 or less. In this case, the ACoS is 42.96%. That means that my ACoS is higher than my break-even ACoS. That means that I'm actually spending more money than I should if I'm trying to get a self-liquidating campaign. In this case, I should reduce my bids then. If my bid has been 46 up until that point, has been my cost per click, maybe I can reduce this to 41 cents, right? And I can keep reducing this bid progressively in order that my ACoS can go down and eventually reach the break-even ACoS of 28.52. This is why it's very important to always name your campaigns like this. Many people don't like to do it, but when you name your campaigns correctly and you always have your break-even ACoS in your campaign, you always know what to do with your regulation because you can see your break-even ACoS in front of you at all times. Now, here's the caveat, or more so than caveat, this is the fine lining that you have to understand, right? Bidding is not just about who puts in the most money, because Amazon also wants to make money of its own. And Amazon makes the most money not from the highest bidders, but from the people who bid who actually end up making the sale. So if your book, is terrible, but you bid really high, sure, you might get a lot of impressions and clicks, but someone else with a better book can bid much lower than you, can maybe even bid half of what you bid, and they will get more visibility from Amazon because Amazon makes the most money from actually making the sale, not from just who bids the highest. Actually, Amazon makes the most money from people who bid the highest with a really bad book. They're actually making money off of the suckers, sorry to say it like this, who are able to bid so much with a bad book, and still they will end up driving the traffic towards those people that have a really nice looking book with really nice reviews, really nice cover, who have a better conversion rate. Well, Amazon will end up prioritizing those as well. So it's not always just about the bids. It's a very important difference that I wanted to make known to you, right? That we have two things. It's not just competitive bid, but also a high conversion rate that makes you the better book as far as Amazon ads. So if your book converts, then that means that you will be rewarded with more visibility. And this is also why a well-optimized book is your ultimate advertising advantage, because the better your book is, the more reviews it has, the better it looks inside of the listing. People will not click away. They will just buy then and there. And likewise, perhaps someone is bidding much higher than you. They're crushing it in the auctions because they have so much money, but your book is much better than theirs. You can bid much lower than them, and your book will end up appearing very close to them, and people will click on their ad, they will go to their book, but then they will see your book right beneath it, and your book perhaps has more reviews, better cover, better everything, and they'll click on your book and end up buying your book. In essence, they will have paid the ads that lead to the sale of your book, right? So that is what we want to do. Finally, just a small warning on lowering bids. Lowering bids is a primary tool, but it's not a magic bullet. There are other things you have to take into consideration. I've developed another video where I talk about more advanced strategies on how you can lower your ACoS without necessarily lowering your bids. Because something that very few people know is that if you lower bids too aggressively, your ad can completely disappear, or it can go from being on the first page of a search result all the way to page 2, 3, 4, 5. And at those latter pages, way down on page 5, those people navigating on those pages, they're not looking to buy. They're just in browsing mode. They don't have a high intention of purchase. So those people are not such good clients, and they will take a lot of clicks before they actually buy something. And because of that, that can actually damage your conversion rate. It can damage your visibility on ads. And by lowering your bid, in some cases, you end up spending more money than not lowering it. This is not in all cases, obviously, but it does happen from time to time. So it's important that you know. Sometimes it is much smarter to just turn off a specific unprofitable keyword or search term within a campaign instead of lowering the bids. This is a bit more advanced. I know some people, this might have confused you a little bit, but it's just to have in mind. If this is a bit confusing, don't worry. Just focus on updating bids, lowering, and trying to reach that break-even ACoS, and then later on, you can come back to this video and see, okay, there's some extra details that are always good to know if you want to take it to the next level. So that's it for me today. I just hope that you are able to find your strategy. If you want to go aggressive or soft, I recommend escalating your bids systematically, consistently, not so much, not too crazy, not too aggressively. Doesn't matter if you're going up or down, just always do it progressively. And remember that the best hack for Amazon ads, the best secret or trick that you can master is simply having a highly converting book, which is basically, great reviews, 100 reviews, A+ content, social proof, etc. Hope you enjoyed this video, and see you in the next one.